If you are a Canadian taxpayer, every time you're forced to send $1 to Ottawa, only 90 cents of it ever finds its way towards paying for government stuff. So if you paid $20,000 in federal taxes, which is pretty standard for a Canadian household, only $18,000 of that ended up paying for stuff like roads, fighter jets, and everybody's favorite, bureaucrat salaries. Where did the other $2,000 go? It immediately got poured into interest payments. You see, the Canadian government has a giant and ever-growing pile of debt that it has no plans to pay off. And every year, like any loan, you've got to pay interest on it. This wasn't a huge deal when Canada had modest debt and interest rates were rock bottom, but we effectively doubled the federal debt from 2015 to 2025, and interest rates are now sitting around 3%, as opposed to, say, 2021, when they were sitting around 0%. Oh, and the debt is way higher now. The federal debt basically doubled under this guy, and the provinces have been stacking on the debt as well. As recently as 2020, the combined provincial federal debt in Canada was $1.5 trillion. In 2025, just 5 years later, it's about $2.3 trillion, a 46% increase. The result? Interest payments are really, really high now, to the point where merely servicing Canada's giant pile of debt is now one of the most expensive things we do. It now costs Canada $92.5 billion every year just to avoid defaulting on its debt. That's about $2,000 per person. It's almost triple what we spend on the military. It's nearly double what the federal government spends on healthcare transfers each year. It's more than Canada's entire annual GST revenue. The government takes a 5% cut basically every time something is sold in Canada, and yet if you tallied up all of that GST money, it wouldn't be quite enough to cover all our interest. And I'm afraid this is set to get worse. The federal government is spending like sailors. And so are many of the provinces. BC, for one, has spiked its provincial debt by 50% in just the last 2 years. Which means if you like paying taxes that do nothing except pay interest on debt, you're set to be doing a lot more of that.